Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Jessica Peterson here with Purpose Powered People. And I am honored to welcome Patty Langlois. Welcome, Patty.
Hi.
So please share with everyone something awesome about your day.
Something awesome about my day? Wow. Well, I'm not sure where to start. I started the day already talking to clients and scheduling client appointments and talking tax strategies first thing in the morning, with clients. And I'm now in my new offices, so great way to start the day.
I love it. I love it. So please share with everyone a little bit about your business. And I have so many questions. I'm dying to know how you got there. So please share with everyone who you are, Patty.
Well, I am a CPA. I've had my CPA practice for 25 years. And I just now substantially increased my business and moved into a new office space, so I'm no longer working out of my home. So I'm pretty excited about that move. For the very first time in business, I now have a computer network. So I have a network server, very exciting. And I've upgraded my tax software, switched from one system to a new tax software system, which I think will be much more comprehensive and will allow us a lot more planning opportunities and strategizing opportunities for our clients.
So 25 years, congrats. That's really impressive. And I mean, was this something you knew as a kid you were dying to be CPA, or please share with us how you evolved and came into this career?
Well, I had a few little epiphanies. I actually wanted to be a writer and, write novels and make millions of dollars writing novels. And I kind of thought, well, in high school I became, as it came down to making a decision, the pragmatic German part of me took over. And it was like, really, Patty, are you really going to make money writing novels? I don't think so. So I thought, okay, I had all my credits and they were offering a bookkeeping class my senior year in high school. So I took that, I aced it without even blinking. And so I thought, oh, that was kind of fun. And obviously there's a market for that, an employment opportunity. So I pursued that. I did work for H&R Block for 2 years to learn, the basics of tax preparation. Very interesting experience, which I only share with a few people. And so then when I started my actual college courses, I had watched the movie The Untouchables, and so I decided I wanted to be the next Elliot Ness, and I wanted to get the next, Al Capone. But I was afraid of guns, so I thought, okay, that's not going to work for me. So I thought, well, okay, we can still, help taxpayers and people that actually have to pay taxes and help them to navigate the laws and pay the least amount of money. So that's kind of how I got on that track.
I love it. So what I love about it is your creative side on tax. So your creative side to write, your desire to write has paid forward into your, your tax business.
Yeah.
So that's super fun how you incorporated the two. I know so many people get overwhelmed on how do you choose a good CPA. So Patty, if someone asked you, first of all, the question, what makes you so different from any other CPA, what would you say?
I would say the first thing is I love people, and I love people's stories, and I think the important thing about being an excellent tax return preparer is you really need to know about people's lives and the things that they have going on in their life to be able to really maximize their tax return deductions. So, for example, one of my clients had battled cancer a couple years ago, And we realized we didn't have her in the correct entity structure for her to be able to maximize her out-of-pocket expenses, which turned out to be over $25,000 out of her pocket, even though she had exceptional health insurance, and that was before the Affordable Care Act kicked in. So there are, a lot of planning opportunities and those kind of things.
Wow. So when someone comes to work with you, is it just for Colorado? Are you serving other states, or?
I actually serve other states, primarily because over 25 years, I had a lot of clients that ended up moving out of state during that time. And some of those clients have referred their friends and neighbors now from the states that they're in. And also with some of the traveling that I do, I meet people, I go to seminars and things, and of course I do my continuing education for my license. And so I meet people out of state, and they end up coming on board as clients.
Wow. Okay. So that's really good to know. If someone, I guess you kind of did answer, I was wanting to know if someone came to you and said, what's in it for me? You really like to know their whole story and maximize all of that. How do you keep such good records too? I'm dying to know that.
Well, obviously we have to take notes on everything, and we have to document everything. And, one of my favorite lines is that there's a lot of gray area in the tax laws. I probably shouldn't say this on something that's going to become public, but I also add there's not always a lot of gray matter in the tax laws. But I like to, explore those areas. And tax laws are actually kind of made not only with Congress, but in the interpretation and through tax court, tax laws. They're interpreted one way or another by the tax courts. And so sometimes we take a more aggressive stance for our clients, depending on their circumstances. And those kind of things have to be documented as to, why we think that we can legitimately take that particular tax deduction. And so I have clients who are ultra conservative. They basically tell me I don't want to deduct anything, unless I have a piece of paper from some third party that tells me I can deduct it, which is somewhat unfortunate. I do tell them, what types of things that they may be missing out on, or that they are definitely missing out on because, they don't want to raise any red flags. And then I have clients who are a lot more aggressive and who want to play a little more in the gray area and look at what the different interpretations of a particular deduction might be. And I, of course, have a line that I will not go over, where I have to say, hey, now we're crossing the line. We can't go there. That's definitely been ruled out. So, and I allow my clients to primarily make a lot of those decisions about what they're comfortable with, what kind of risk they're comfortable with. And one of the things that I tell clients the last 2 or 3 years, because people are so paranoid about being audited. So my primary comment is, first of all, your entire tax return is an audit flag, period. Particularly if you're in a particular tax bracket or if you have some sort of a deduction. And just because you may be audited, that is absolutely no reason not to take a legitimate deduction that you're entitled to, and that you can document. Because then if you do get audited, most of the time those are line item audits where they say, well, you get a letter and they say, well, we want to look at, what you're deducting on this line, on this dollar amount, and what you spent that on, and we want to see receipts. And those can be relatively quickly resolved by just sending them documentation.
Okay.
So, and that's to the audits.
No, that's good to know. I know that there's a lot of gray areas. I'm such a person by the book, right? I mean, my CPA I've had forever. You and I've had that conversation. She's all, man, you're the most honest, but I'd rather do it by the book. But I also agree with you. If it's gifted there to you, take advantage of that wonderful gift from the government. And
Yes.
so Patty, when someone wants to work with you, is it per hour? Is it per monthly? I mean, per package? Tell me how that looks.
Well, there's a lot of different options and a lot of different ways that I work with clients. Obviously, I have some clients that, we work with on a monthly basis because they do want their accounting taken care of. They want someone to do the data recording, and they want someone to reconcile their bank accounts and their credit card statements to make sure that everything's recorded. And then a lot of clients have payroll. So we sometimes do live payroll. Otherwise, clients do their own live payroll, and then they give us the stuff. And we prepare the payroll tax returns as they're required. So payroll is usually done like on a fixed fee basis, which is paid up front, because there's a lot of work that's done up front on a payroll client. Accounting clients, I have clients, they just want me to bill them a flat fixed fee every month. So we work something out, and then, we look at that fixed fee like every quarter or every 6 months to see if that, is still working for both of us. Some clients just want to pay on an hourly basis, so they want an hourly quote, so I do that too. The way I work with a tax return is I generally price a tax return with an estimated flat fee because so much stuff goes into an actual tax return, and there's so many variables. But I also recognize the fact that most of us don't like to be surprised. Mm-hmm. So, if I can give them an estimate of what I think it's going to take to get the tax return done, I usually stick with that flat fee estimate that I give them. I probably revised 6 clients' estimates last year. One of them, because once the tax return was almost completed, they coughed up a K-1 from California, which, required another schedule on the federal, plus it required a non-resident California tax return. So, that, of course, revised the fee.
No, that makes perfect sense. Do you have an average investment for business clients? Have you noticed an average investment?
Well, one of the things that I do, particularly with business clients who actually have a separate business tax return, so in other words, they have their personal 1040s, and then they have a subchapter S, 1120S tax return, or partnership 1065 tax return. What I do with those is I usually quote them one fee for all of the tax returns put together, and I bill that to their business, their corporation, and I give them the personal tax return complimentary since they're a business client. And because I do it that way, that allows the client to write off 100% of the cost of their tax return.
Okay, no, that makes perfect sense. That's
so there's a little bit of a tax benefit there. And I can't say that I would have an average, but if I had to put a number to it, for someone who has, if I quote both the personal and the business, I would say $1,100 for, the both. That's 2 tax returns, a personal and a corporate, and that includes the state tax returns, assuming that there's one state return. I've got one client that has like 30 state income tax returns that we do for their corporation.
Wow,
So.
Wow. What's the investment for that client?
Well, let's just say that we're getting into close to 5 numbers there.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of work. I actually was thinking about you. I have a client who's in the banking industry, and she was underwriting for a loan, and the tax return was 900 and some pages.
Yeah. Yep, and so a tax return like that, of course, is going to be a little up there.
Wow, that just sounds really complicated. So I always love to ask this question: what did you love to do as a kid, Patty?
What did I love to do as a kid? Well, interestingly enough, I used to love to fish. We lived in Mississippi for a year, and so I'd go fishing off the bridges, and we had a boat, so we also went into the swamps. And the fishing itself was fun. What we caught was not. You know, we caught catfish, which I think is one of the ugliest fish in the world. And then when we were in the swamps, we primarily caught eels, which, you know, it's kind of like, oh, gross, throw it back. So, but that was a lot of fun. And I lived in Hawaii for 4 years, and the big thing I did there was climb trees. They had a lot of the shorter plumeria trees and things like that, so we had a blast climbing around in trees. And then we were living at the edge of a development, and so there was a huge undeveloped area with tons of trees on it. So that's how I spent my days climbing around in trees.
I love it. So your little adventure, I'm trying to see, not try, I don't like that word. I am seeing a correlation between your fishing and climbing trees with taxes. It kind of is an adventure, and to catch and to find and discover and how it all ties in together. Do you still fish, Patty? Do you still go fishing?
Actually, I haven't been fishing in a long time. I can't remember the last time I went fishing.
We need to fix that. We need to go climb a tree right now, and let's go fix it for you. Let's go fix it for you. So what other passions and loves are there, nonprofits or organizations or clubs that you love to be a part of today?
Yes, I do a lot of networking because, like I said, I love people. I love socializing. So I'm a member of the Certus Network with Sabrina Risley, and I'm a member of Experience Pros with Angel Tussey and Eric Reamer. And I also am on the board of Happiness Through Horses, which is Kim Swaney's foundation or nonprofit organization. They help children by providing therapeutic types of, going to trainings and things with horses for kids that are at risk.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm familiar with the organization. I'm really grateful for it. And I love that you enjoy getting out there and networking, actually seeing people, because a lot of CPAs you meet are just hidden, but you thoroughly do enjoy people and like to get out there. So if someone could describe you in 3 words, Patty, what would it be?
Oh my, 3 words. Well, I would like to think that one of the first words is fun. Interested and very curious.
I love it. And fun shoes. Do you have your fun shoes on today? Every time I see you, you have on some fun shoes. Do you have on fun shoes today?
Let me see. Oh, yeah, hang on. I'll show you my fun shoes.
Every time I see Patty on my watch, she always has on super fun shoes. What? So
well, I don't have the pink Diva shoes on today. They're actually in the car because, you know, we had that huge blizzard yesterday.
I know.
I don't know if you can see them. Can you see them?
Ooh, those are cute. I think you still have a price tag on them.
What?
Are you planning on returning those, Patty?
No, I tried ripping off the price tag. It just didn't quite come off yet.
You're hilarious, but I love it that you still like to be in fashion. So if anyone wants to gift you any shoes, I'm sure you're open to it, right? Cute shoes?
Oh, totally. And I wear an 8.5, 9 narrow. I have small feet, but they're long.
Well, actually, that comes out of my next question. Where's your office located at? You got a new office. Where is it located at?
Well, we are temporarily located at 6436 South Quebec Street. That's near I-25 and Arapahoe and I-25 and Orchard Road. And fingers crossed, any luck, we may be moving into a permanent building this year.
Awesome. Can you say what city at least?
Well, we will be still in the Denver, Aurora, area.
Okay, so still in the Denver, okay, I wasn't quite sure. Okay, fabulous. I like those words. I would show you my shoes, but I don't have any on. I'm kind of a barefoot. Kick off the shoes, barefoot type person, but those are really cute shoes. I do have on some bling today though. It came with the shirt. I don't know if you could see.
Oh, let's see. Can you see my bling? This
Oh,
is
yes. I can see your bling.
jacket. I love little pins and things.
Aww.
So that one is what I have on my lapel, and my rings.
Oh, wow. You like bling.
I have a little bling. So, and honestly, I had a friend tell me I have to stop wearing these too. He's like, oh, people are going to think you're married. And I am single.
I love how you threw that in there, Patty. So, you know what?
You got to put it out there. That's actually my aunt and uncle's wedding rings.
Wow. No, I love it. So actually, this is completely off subject, and I feel I need to ask. So I have a family member who just found the love of her life on Christian Mingle. Are you on any sites?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I wasn't quite sure. I just wrote an article on attracting love through social media. I didn't know if you knew that.
Well, we have to talk.
Oh, goodness, that's so awesome. Okay, I have questions so I didn't forget. So you did mention a little bit about how you had a positive impact in someone's taxes and their life. It goes above and beyond just taxes. Do you have any other fun stories or powerful stories that pop at the top of your mind? Okay, I would love to hear them.
Yeah. So one of my favorite things, just because I really felt really good about it for a long time. So I have clients, both parents, both husband and wife work W-2 jobs, and they really don't have a business. She does a little bit of stuff on the side, so we were able to do a small Schedule C, but primarily her and her husband's income was W-2 income. Well, they had two small children as well, and they just had a third baby at the time. And what I do with them is in October, the first week in October, I work with them to kind of calculate where they are with their paycheck withholdings for both of them, and kind of calculate where we're going to end up after the child tax credits. And his the husband was also taking some courses, so he was eligible for some educational credits. And so in October every year, we kind of go through that. Well, one year I was able to go through that, and I had realized that they didn't have any life insurance. And so here they had, I think, a 5- and 6-year-old at the time, and a newborn 3-month-old at the time. So, and no life insurance. They had, I think, what his employer provided, which was the usual $50,000. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of ran through that, and I got a life insurance agent involved with us, a financial advisor, and we kind of looked at what kind of policy he was advising, given where they are. They were both, young, early 30s parents. And so I was able to reduce their W-4 withholding for October, November, December by a total of $800 each month, because they were already over withheld, given the child tax credits that they were eligible for. And with that $800 a month savings, we were able to put them into a $2 million life insurance policy. So I think we did a $1.2 million policy on the husband, and I think an $800,000 policy on the wife. And so we were able to fund that through their withholding. Wow. So it was pretty awesome. And they still had an extra $400 each month, so they had an extra $1,200 that they were able to use for their Christmas gifts and for the Christmas holiday. So wow. They had cash in their pocket for that. So that was one of my favorite stories.
I love that because, here they are covered. I'm very passionate about people being covered with life insurance. So here you got them covered really at no extra cost.
Exactly. And they actually had, still extra cash in their pockets each month. So
Wow. Yeah, and anyone watching, I strongly encourage every person at least take a passion of yours and turn it into a business, right? So you can have some write-offs.
Yes. Yes, and like I said, their Schedule C was pretty minimal as far as any tax benefits as well. Just one of the spouses was having some 1099 consulting type work that they were doing. So that, and like I say, it really didn't add that much because they already had a lot going on with both spouses working W-2 and with 3 children, small children, and buying a house. So, you know, they had their mortgage interest deduction and all that other stuff. So,
Okay.
and I think that's a thing that is not emphasized enough, is that even if you only have a W-2 income, you really need to be looking at your withholding regularly throughout the year, particularly when new tax laws and things come out that might impact you. And you need to be working on that. Because I don't know how this ever became part of the popular culture, that everyone gets really excited about an $8,000 refund. I'm not one of those people that gets excited about that. I just want to smack people and say, why did you pay the government $8,000 last year that you could have had in your pocket? You know.
True.
So,
no, it's true. I'm the same way. I'm exact
yeah.
same way. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold, Patty. I keep coughing. I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, and one thing I would warn people about, you really need to know what the limitations are of all of the advice that you're getting. I have clients constantly say, well, you know, my neighbor does this and that, and he doesn't pay any taxes on this and that. And I never know how to respond to something like that, except, and you're listening to your neighbor, why? What is it that they know about tax law that, you know, your CPA doesn't, or, you know, something like that? Because everyone's tax situation is completely different. And if you go, for example, to the IRS.gov website to calculate your withholding, they have a nifty little electronic thing that you can put some numbers in, and it'll spit it out and say, well, your W-4 on your paycheck should be single 3 or, you know, single 0, whatever. What people don't realize is that is only good up to a point. So if you are eligible for things like the child tax credit, the educational tax credits, those things are not taken into account on that calculation. So you'll still be way over withheld, and you'll get a big refund. And I think we need to change the mentality in the country. Big refunds are not the goal. The goal is to, number one, maximize your tax deductions, and 2, maximize your own cash flow so that we can get into a saving mentality and change some of the behaviors and some of the mentality around being wealthy, having savings, having an emergency fund, all those good things that are aside from the tax issues, because the taxes are not the be-all and the end-all of people's financial lives, and they shouldn't be.
You remind me of a gentleman, Thomas Corley. He wrote a book, Rich Habits. He's a CPA on the East Coast, and interviewing people of habits. So I like how you said habits, and I love that you like to dig for that and look for that. And again, I have so many questions. So what is the hottest question or hottest topic right now around taxes that you would say?
Well, the hottest topic is always the Affordable Care Act and the penalties and things, because many of my clients do not have an employer-sponsored health care program. And so many of them are self-employed individuals who may have a spouse who has a W-2 income but doesn't have health care at their work either. So health care is a big issue, particularly, in my opinion, making sure that people are maximizing their write-offs on that, because they've changed it now to 10% of your adjusted gross income. You have to cross that threshold on your medical expenses first before you can deduct anything on your Schedule A. So, if you've got a $50,000 adjusted gross income, you have to first of all hit $5,000 plus in your medical expenses before you can even take anything on your Schedule A itemized deduction.
Wow.
So you got $5,000 coming out of your pocket that you're eating.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's true. A question for you, and if you don't know the answer, it's okay. You could just say we'll talk about another time. But B corporations is a hot topic. What do you say about anyone exploring converting or starting a business going B corporation?
C corporation?
B as in boy.
A B corporation?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of a B corporation.
Ooh, it's so much fun. It's the new hot trend. There's a whole website on it.
Okay, well, now you're educating me because I haven't heard of that.
I'm not a tax person. No. And the only reason why I know about it is because our company is all about positive impact and doing good in the world. And this is corporations that I know a lot of people who are changing, adjusting, or starting out, because it's all corporations who are about making a positive impact. It's not nonprofit. It's for profit, but still doing good. So,
I see.
But
yeah,
it's
quite honestly, I can't address that issue right now.
Well, there you go.
Look at that.
Have some fun looking at that one, because that is a hot topic right now. I know another hot topic is internet sales. Internet sales and taxes. Anything you have to add on that for any internet marketers?
Yes, I do. And it relates. Actually, it's more for speaking to speakers.
Okay.
Internet sales. There's been a lot going on right now about sales taxes with internet sales. But one thing that people don't realize is if you're a speaker and you're traveling across the country to speak and you're earning money, you're getting paid for that. A lot of state income tax issues come into play there. I had one client of mine did a speech for a large corporation in California. And she called me because she's like, oh my God, they want me to complete a W-9 and they're going to withhold 7% taxes on what they're paying me. And she's like, well, what do I do? I mean, how do I get out of that? So I had to research that because I wasn't familiar. Most of my clients that are doing speaking apparently weren't doing it with a large corporation that was aware of their own state's rules. And so I looked at it, and sure enough, the corporation was required to withhold 7% tax from the 1099 payment that they gave her. And so for her to get that back, she would have to file a California non-resident income tax return and take her deductions for that speaking engagement off of, her expenses related to that speaking engagement off of that California non-resident to be able to get any of the money back.
Wow. No, that's really good to know. That's really good to know.
And the other thing you need to realize, there's a couple of states where if you go to speak, even if you're there for one day and you're doing a 1-hour speaking engagement and you're getting paid for it, that state requires you to file a state tax return and pay taxes on what you earned there. So a lot of things you guys need to be aware of that many people are not paying attention to.
No, that's really good to know. Thank you for sharing that with all of us. So anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up, Patty? I had fun.
I did too. No, this is great. No, I really don't know what else to share. We do try to put out a lot of information on the website, www.denvertaxdiva.com. And we try to keep everybody informed. We also have a Facebook business page and put a lot of topics of current. And I'm going to have to check out this B Corporation and post something about that. So there's a lot of ways to stay in touch with us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Patty, for all the good you do and your interest in people and the charities you're involved with. And keep on learning and keep on sharing. That's all I have to say, okay?
Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate that.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.